one day or day one. Respect is given when it's earned. No one's gonna give you. Go out and earn it, work hard, get up with me before the sun. You gotta put in the work with our own two hands. It's the work we put in when nobody's watching that really matters. Think for more. There's a lot of managers and there's agents and there's people involved, there's business affairs. You have a lot of people doing the talking, but at the end of the day, no one can talk on your behalf better than you. And I realize that the person I compete with most is just me. It's you versus you. We had a little efficiency apartment in Hawaii, and we were evicted out of there, couldn't pay the rent. The rent was $280 a month. We eventually got kicked out. When we got kicked out, I was 15 years old. I'll never forget it. I was standing there at the door. There was not the padlock, but the notice. They tell you in a week you gotta go. If you don't, then the Honolulu Police Department will come and they'll escort you out. In that moment, I saw my mom crying, and because I'm a mama's boy, and that kind of pain really impacted me. And I thought then, I want to do everything that I can to make sure we never get evicted like this again, and make sure that she is never this upset again. I didn't even know what that meant at 15 years old. It just meant I have to work. I have to work. I have to do something with my own two hands. So I have a philosophy these days that you got to put in the work with our own two hands, because this is the stuff that you can control. We control the controllables, as we say. The other part is a competitive nature that is in my DNA and it's in my blood, just like it runs in all of our constitution and our makeup here in this room, and yours included, where I love the competition, I love to win, and I also love to learn. I don't say lose, I say I love to learn. So I would say it's a combination of that. There's something I think that we all can tap into that becomes our juice and our wiring. For me, you bring up my old man. My dad was a professional wrestler at a time when professional wrestling, I think, wasn't as globally renowned as it is today. My dad was paycheck to paycheck kind of guy, and when I decided to get into professional wrestling, we had the biggest fight about it. And ultimately he said, look, I'm not too sure if you have anything to offer. I mean, it got to that level.
How old are you at this time?
I was 22 years old, 23. And I understand what he meant in his limited capacity to love. He meant, look, I live in this little apartment in Tampa, right up the road, I-75. I don't want this life for you. I think there's more for you out there. And I said, yeah, but I gotta follow my gut and my instinct. So I bring that up to say, along the road of life, we always have these moments that are seminal moments where somebody, sometimes it's a loved one like my old man, sometimes it's a friend, sometimes it's a boss, sometimes it's a stranger who says, you can't do it, you're not good enough, don't even try, pack your stuff and go home. And what I have found, and I'm sure you guys will agree, is that when you take that kind of action, that kind of step of following your gut and your intuition, taking that step, whatever it is, the universe has a funny way of meeting you halfway. What drives me is, I'll take it back, there was some cheers in here at the University of Miami. When I stepped onto that campus in Coral Gables, we were hungry, dogs, but also it was there that I started to understand, number one, it was really challenging to be a student athlete back then and certainly now. It's almost like having a pro career at the same time as being a student, especially today. But what Miami allowed me to do, that place and that culture, that winning culture that we all want and that we're all part of, it was almost like a forcing mechanism. What it allowed me to do was realize there's more and think more, think for more. You don't have to be just this, especially when there's a lot of people who are against you. And at that time, University of Miami, we were the bad boys of the game at that time. And we played ball, won national titles, etc. But at our core, it was, no, we could still be dominant, but we could still go for more. So I learned that there, that you don't have to stay in something like this. You could do more. And then I started to understand, as I started to get down the road, that, oh, you don't do it by yourself. because I used to be very hands-on, micromanaging, and it served me for a little while. Then I started to realize it started to be counterproductive for me. Oh, you don't do it by yourself. Bring in a team of people. Choose your enemies up, choose your partners up, people who are a lot smarter than I am, which isn't hard to be, at what they do. And then you can continue just to fortify this idea that let's do more. The work ethic, the drive, that hunger to compete, it never goes away. Reached this point in my career where I started to realize, oh, I've done pretty good, and we're sitting up top on this mountain. And I realized this happened, probably it was a big revelation for me about a year ago, where I thought, okay, I'm on top of this mountain. A few things can happen from here. I reached this point in my life. We could either stay here and enjoy the view and bask in it, or we could go back down the mountain, right off into the sunset. And I thought, well, the first two don't seem like it's in my DNA. I know what we should do. Let's go build more mountain. Not only let's go build more mountain, but the difference is, for me, is now bringing everybody with us. As we go along on the road of life, you become so uniquely focused, myopic on the thing that you want to attract and compete for and accomplish. If it's worth something to you, you got to put in the effort. There was a lot of naysayers and there was a lot of cynicism as I was getting into Hollywood, and I get it, because you were successful in another place and now Hollywood comes knocking, and now you want to try and come in and make a name for yourself in Hollywood. It was a little tricky because I was coming out of the world of professional wrestling. It's just a unique animal at that time and machine. So when I got there, a lot of people around me at that time who were my part of my management team said, listen, if you really want to make it in Hollywood, then you can't call yourself The Rock. You got to lose weight. Don't talk about wrestling. You have to look and walk and talk and act like these guys, and these guys are the biggest stars in the world at that time. Johnny Depp, Will Smith, etc. If you don't know any better, you buy into that stuff, like I bought into that back then. But then you start to realize something starts to eat at your gut about, well, this just doesn't feel right because I'm not being authentic, I'm not being myself. So finally, I said, a few years later, I said, I can't do this anymore. I have to be myself. Because it's never been done doesn't mean it can't be done. It just means we got to figure out a different path. And then this unique thing happened when I was myself, and we can apply it to all of us here, business, life, etc., is Hollywood conformed. Truth is, in wrestling, it's a little different. You still compete, you still have to keep your head on a swivel. And I always like to say it's shark-infested waters in that world, in this world too, business, entertainment, sports entertainment. The ones who are confident in themselves, confident in their success, and want to see not only the business grow, but want to see people do well. And especially, I feel like I'm a decent guy, you want to see somebody who's a pretty good person do well. It's the people you don't meet, the ones behind the scenes. Those are the ones who are trying to hold you down. Those are the ones who are chicken anyway, who will never come to you, you'll never see them. And I realized, instead of me trying to find them or try to figure out, well, who made that call and why did this happen, I thought, okay, I'll always remember the people who were good to me. And then I realized the person I compete with most is just me. It's you versus you. And I think that's something we can all, attest to. The most important thing is to be what I was and am and will be tomorrow, and that's real. And again, that's when everything starts to conform.